He's creative, soft-spoken, and wildly talented. The kind of designer who could make a crumbling Detroit house look like a piece of art. But behind the success, HGTV's Keith Bynum has faced challenges most fans never see on screen. From humble beginnings to national fame, and from burnout to controversy, his story isn't one of scandal. It's a look into what happens when passion meets pressure. So, who exactly is Keith Bynum, and what is the truth behind the so-called dark reality of Bargain Block's genius? Keith Bynum grew up in West Texas, a small-town kid with big creative instincts. From a young age, he was fascinated by design, art, and construction. He later earned both his bachelor's degree and an MBA from Texas Tech University, blending business strategy with creative drive. But his entrepreneurial spirit started far earlier than that. He launched his first company at just 14, a small idea that grew into a nationally recognized retail and manufacturing chain. After selling that business, he shifted gears toward home renovation and real estate, eventually co-founding 9 Design Plus homes with his partner, Evan Thomas. His early ventures also included selling handmade furniture and decor, and according to several sources, he even ran a woodworking business crafting farmhouse tables on Craigslist, long before television ever entered the picture. That mix of business grit and artistic vision would become the foundation for everything he built later. In the late 2010s, Keith and Evan were living in Boulder, Colorado. They met on Match.com, bonded instantly over creativity and shared ambition, and started flipping homes together. But Colorado's housing market was expensive and competitive, leaving little space for affordable, meaningful design work. Looking for a place where their ideas could make a difference, they turned their eyes toward Detroit, a city full of possibility, heartbreak, and renewal. In Detroit, they bought their first property for just $12,000. It was falling apart, but they saw beauty beneath the dust. Together, they rebuilt it piece by piece, painting, sanding, designing, and filming the process for fun. That spirit of reinvention caught HGTV's attention. In April 2021, Bargain Block officially premiered. The concept was as unconventional as the city it celebrated. Keith handled the designs, Evan managed the builds, and realtor Shay Hicks Whitfield helped find the right buyers, often local families looking for a fresh start. Audiences loved it. The show wasn't about million-dollar mansions or high-end drama. It was about creativity on a budget, second chances, and a genuine love story between 2 men rebuilding homes and hope at the same time. Within a year, Bargain Block became one of HGTV's breakout hits. But while the homes looked picture-perfect on camera, the reality behind the scenes was far more complicated. Keith and Evan were doing real renovations under tight timelines and tight budgets. They were managing business logistics, neighborhood, relationships, and long filming hours that sometimes stretched 18 hours a day. In later interviews, Keith admitted that the grind took a toll. He loved the work, but struggled with exhaustion and the pressure of keeping up with network demands. Things became more difficult when he joined HGTV's competitive show Rock the Block. Keith later told People magazine that he felt cheated and lied to during filming, and that some producers seemed to have it out for him. He said he often felt emotionally drained and questioned whether being honest about his feelings might hurt his career. Despite those tensions, he kept showing up with his trademark smile, giving fans the creativity they loved while privately managing frustration and fatigue. Then came the moment no one expected. In early 2025, HGTV decided to cancel Bargain Block after 4 seasons. According to Keith, he and Evan were already preparing for season 5 when they got the news. In his own words, "We just got caught with our pants down." The network didn't give a detailed explanation, though many assumed cost concerns and lower cable ratings played a role. The announcement stunned viewers and hit Keith deeply. In a candid Instagram post, he shared his disappointment, writing, "TV is full of a lot of great people, but it's also full of some of the worst people I've ever encountered." He went on to say that the past 6 months had put us through the ringer at the hands of a giant corporation. Still, he ended the post with resilience. "Yet we persist." That single phrase, half humor, half heartbreak, captured who Keith Bynum really is. Open, honest, but never cruel. He wasn't attacking HGTV, he was admitting that fame comes with a price, one that creators rarely talk about until it's over. Later, both he and Evan spoke diplomatically about the experience. They praised the production crew, their Detroit neighbors, and the fans who kept the show alive. They also acknowledged that television is unpredictable, that sometimes even good shows end because of business, not betrayal. But Keith's battles didn't start with television. They started much earlier, within his own family. As reported by Nikki Swift, Keith revealed that when he came out as gay, his parents disowned him. His father told him he'd never have a future in construction because of who he was. His mother gave him a painful ultimatum. It's him or us. He chose love and Evan. That choice cost him financial security and emotional connection, but it gave him authenticity and purpose. Over time, he found a new sense of family in Detroit, among neighbors, creatives, and the HGTV crew who believed in his vision. He also became an LGBTQ+ advocate, using his visibility on television to normalize same-sex partnerships in an industry that hadn't often showcased them. When Bargain Block wrapped in mid-2025, it wasn't a scandal, it was a turning point. In his farewell message, Keith called the journey magical and thanked Detroit for embracing them. He said this city gave us purpose. Even after the cancellation, unaired episodes from Season 4 continued to release throughout the year. Fans mistook them for new seasons, but Keith clarified they were filmed long before. Now, away from the camera lights, he and Evan have returned to client work through 9 Design Plus homes, taking on custom renovation and interior design projects across the country. They've also been exploring future opportunities, perhaps new media ventures, or even a return to TV under their own creative control. So, what does the dark reality really mean in Keith Bynum's story? It isn't about scandal or secrets. It's about the unseen side of success, the exhaustion, the network politics, the sacrifices behind the scenes. It's about the emotional toll of building something you love in a world that sometimes loves you back conditionally. For Keith, the darkness was never about wrongdoing. It was about perseverance through rejection, loss, and change. He faced disownment, burnout, and cancellation, yet he's still standing, still designing, still inspiring. He once said that design isn't about perfection, it's about transformation. Maybe that's true for his life, too. Today, Keith Bynum isn't just an HGTV star. He's a survivor of an industry that often burns bright and fades fast. He's a craftsman, a partner, a dreamer, and proof that integrity still has a place in entertainment. The homes he's built may belong to new families now, but the heart he put into them, the resilience, the creativity, and the compassion that remains his legacy. Because sometimes, the brightest designs come from the darkest realities. What do you think about Keith's journey? The fame, the struggle, and the truth behind it all? Share your thoughts below. And if you'd like to hear more untold stories from behind the world of HGTV, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next. If you want to stay updated on all things HGTV, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and drop a comment to share your thoughts.